Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing a YA fantasy book that I read that I really enjoyed and wanted to share with you. So I am probably out of the YA age demographic, if that makes sense. I'm not a teen anymore, but I do find some good stuff in the YA section. I enjoyed reading YA when I was a teen, and I think it's something that can be enjoyable for everyone. I also like that, not always, but sometimes because it's YA, it might not have the level of gore or violence that maybe adult fantasy has. So for that reason, I also kind of like going into that genre, but not always, because some of those YA books do get pretty serious. So the book that I read was Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tucholke. I'm going to put the last name here in case I did not pronounce that correctly. So Boneless Mercies follows a group of 4 women who, or more like young girls, who Frey is our main character and the protagonist, the narrator. We also have Juniper, Runa, and Ovi. And these women are part of the Boneless Mercies, or just Mercies as they are called throughout the book, who are women who engage in mercy killing. So they're people who are contracted when someone's really sick, when someone's dying, and they carry out a merciful killing on that person using poison or slitting their throat to, I guess, ease the suffering and make it pass. So yeah, we have Boneless Mercies and they're doing their thing, but they're pretty young. Most of them come from really bad circumstances. They lost their family, they ran away, they had some sort of traumatic thing happen, and they've joined this sect to do their thing. And they're getting kind of tired of it. The first scene is them performing a mercy kill, and then they kind of are waiting. They're moving around, they're going to their next place. But basically you can tell they're not very happy with their life. And well in an inn, they hear about a monster that is ravaging in the north. So there's a monster that's attacking an area of the land, and whoever kills it is offered a large amount of gold. So they decide that maybe they're done being mercies and maybe they would like to go on and try their hand at this monster. So that is the book. It's their adventure traveling through this fictionalized Norse environment and attacking this monster. So this is, in essence, at least the way I viewed it, or my takeaway was, this was a Beowulf retelling. It felt very much like a Beowulf retelling. There were a lot of similarities, especially the further north they got and you got into that side of the story, and I really liked it. So I'm going to get my main critique out of the way first, because I really like this book. This was definitely like a 4.5 star read. It is a really good Beowulf retelling and I really enjoyed it. I found that the language tended to be on the dramatic side at times in a way that I felt was a little overdone. I felt like the drama and the tension and the flowery language didn't need to be there all the time that it did. I felt like the book was good enough on its own and it didn't need to rely on that. I feel like I felt that more at the beginning of the book, so maybe I got used to the writing style, or maybe the author did tone it down as we got into the actual story of them going on this adventure to find this monster and see if they can stop it from ravaging this land. But that was one of my main critiques that I noticed at the beginning. However, as the story went on, I got less annoyed with it. So that was really my main problem with the book, because everything else was great. I love the characters, I love the setting, I like the variety of settings within the setting, if that makes sense. So it's not all just a monotonous, like every town and village is kind of similar. There's different sects and different groups within the land, and they all have their own competing ideas and problems and cultures, and the descriptions of these places are really interesting. I felt like the landscape was described very uniquely. The locations, the people, the customs, all of it was very well described. The author has a real talent and skill at building landscapes and building environments, but also not suffering in like her characters. So I feel like sometimes people, when I say people, I mean authors. Sometimes authors are like, will build a really convincing character and that character will carry you through the setting. There may not be as much emphasis on the setting, or maybe there's a lot of emphasis on like the location and the world, but the characters fall kind of flat. And this book doesn't suffer in either regard, at least in my opinion. The characters are really well done. I sympathize with them. I feel like they were all unique, which I feel could have been a problem because there was 4 of them. And I felt like the author could have kind of cheated and kind of made them like, you know, cookie cutter stamps of each other, and like, oh, this one has green hair and that's why she's different. But they were all kind of unique and their characters were unique, and I think that the author did a really good job of both the landscape, the setting, the world building, and also the characters. I think this is a really good Beowulf resetting that's been reset for the modern era. I really enjoy, well, I feel like a lot of people enjoy Beowulf. It's a very classic story. It's very It kind of reaches into the roots of what makes us human and the kind of stories that we like, a hero going after a monster. I've read some other books on Beowulf this year as well, tending more to the academic, but that I enjoyed nonetheless anyways. And this was just a fictionalized YA retelling of it, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I will be recommending this. So if you want to read a fictionalized, I mean, it's all fiction, it's Beowulf. If you want to read a YA retelling of Beowulf, or you're interested in a beautiful Norse similar setting with some women who are deciding to leave this sect and this lifestyle behind to kind of seek out their own adventure, this is definitely the book for you. Like I said, I probably would give this a 4.5 star. It was really, really good, and I'm glad I picked it up. This is actually on the so I got this with a whole stack of books that I got from the library, and I'm down to like my last 2 from that like haul from the library, and I am surprised I left this for last. I feel like I should have read it first because I enjoyed it so much, and I think you might enjoy it too. So if you've read this or if you have any comments on this, please let me know. Please give it a read. Check it out, purchase it from your local bookstore, and let me know what you think. Other than that, everyone, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.